What's up? Jay Jingles here again. Forgive me if I'm sounding a little nasally or super boss voice with the raspiness because I got the vid. I got the COVID. So I guess that's it for me, guys. This is gonna be my last video because that's pretty much it for me. No, I'm alright. Just coughing and stuff. So if I go into a coughing fit in the middle of this video, you'll know why. On cue. Sorry. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Pray for me. But what are we doing here? I don't know if I'm gonna do this every week. I would like to. That's the goal. But I would like to do like a team preview of what I'm gonna bring versus my opponent on a given week, and then hopefully record the match itself, whether or not it's on Showdown or on Cart or whatever it is, and then just kind of give my thoughts as the match is going on in real time. And especially with the team preview, like that I'm gonna kind of give now, the team breakdown of what and why. Kind of seeing things come into play during the match or not, or when a plan doesn't go well, or when a plan is executed well. It's good to see both perspectives. I do not win a lot. I win sometimes, so I'm like the okayest kind of draft league player. So some seasons go well, some seasons don't. I feel like we kind of hit on this team though. I'm kind of feeling that prep went very easy for building this week, and I had a peek at next week, and I got some options. But no, but this team, we'll break it down, kind of show what the game plan is, you know, based on what I see. He's only got 9 months, so we only have to prep for 9, so it makes it a little bit easier. But because if they're 11, then there's a couple modes we have to like at least consider. But with 9, it's not too bad. What's the first step, I guess, in when you're prepping? So I always tell people when I'm trying to tell new people how to draft and what to draft and what the game plan is. I don't follow my own advice, by the way. Most of the time, usually I see, oh, shiny new toy, and I kind of go against whatever game plan I would tell myself. But when it comes to a given week, so when you do your draft, I guess we can go back to draft. So you want to draft your modes. So you want to draft strong modes that are just, some weeks, like, here's my best. Can you stop it? Sometimes the answer is no, and then you just lead the obvious and win with the obvious. Such as we have the Polytoad Kingdra, the Swift Swim, and we have the beat up Justified with the Terrakion, which we're going to do this week. So you have those modes that they have to respect immediately, and I see my opponent has a couple as well. There is a little bit of overlap with his, which is why we did kind of build the way we did. So that's kind of what I'm doing this week. Like, we had our modes on paper, and now we're selecting which ones are going to work in a match. So as you can see on the left here, we have Sneasel Terrakion. So with the beat up Justified, so just in case you didn't know what it does, beat up hits a Pokemon you target 4 times, or based on how many Pokemon you have on the team. So in a 6v6, it would hit 6 times. In a 4v4, which VGC is, it would hit 4 times. If you use beat up later in the game, if you have a Pokemon that's dead or lost or whatever it is, or you have 2 left, it's only gonna hit twice or 3 times, and so on and so forth. But we are not hitting our opponent with it. We are going to be hitting our Terrakion with it. So there's a couple reasons here. So Terrakion has Spread Rock, and Rock is only resisted by what? Ground, Steel, and Fighting. So they're common types, but like you don't see a lot of the same ones on the same team. Like, and the Fighting covers, like, because we have Rock and Fighting. So Rock hits pretty much everything except for what? Fighting, Ground, and Steel. But we also have our Fighting Stab to hit our Steel types, so that covers one of the Rock weaknesses. So we just spam Rock Slide, or Rock Miss, as I'm going to miss a few this week, but that's definitely something we have to consider. But yeah, so it goes into the team fairly well, because he's got 1 Ground type, and he's got no Steel types, and he's got 1 Fighting type. So if we're going to zero in on the beat up Justified, give our Terrakion a +4, which, by the way, our Sneasel can't be faked out because of Inner Focus. And Terrakion, it can be faked out, but so be it, I guess. He has a couple of fake out users on the team. We just have to be aware of that. But I just thought of something else I have to prepare for, that Hariyama, if he leads it. It's not a problem, but, you know, if the Hariyama's there, we definitely have to consider it. We can fake it out ourselves. Well, there we go. There's a solution. So why is that mode so good? So, first of all, just the output of damage is just so good. So we have the Rock Slide and the Sacred Sword for the stab damage. Hits everything at least neutrally, and spread, and very hard, and. Plus 4 Terrakion is just going to hit very, very hard. And they're both very fast. 115 speed Sneasel and 108 speed Terrakion. And if we look down here, as you can see, Terrakion's, other than the Sceptile, is faster than anything on his team. Obviously, Tailwind's there as well, and Scarf, and things like that. But we have to adjust. You can't prepare for literally everything, but you just have to adjust sometimes, and I feel like we have the tools. The Terra is going to be important on the Terrakion because of, again, we have our offense and we have our mode, but we also have to keep in mind what's his mode, what's his best mode. And I see two. Well, I see a few different modes, but I see the best two are the Murkrow paired with either the Regidrago or the Typhlosion Hisui. I don't know if the Typhlosion Hisui is going to be led given the Terrakion. Unless there's like an offensive Terra to hit Terrakion super effectively or something like that. So we do have the rock typing initially, so the Eruption is what hits hard, right? Like, I don't think people run Typhlosion Hisui for running Heat Wave. Like, not usually, or Shadow Ball. It's got 109 special attack. Like, it's nothing to write home about. It's the typing, so it can't be faked out, because it's a ghost type, and the access to Eruption. So the fact that we have a Terrakion here, and we're just going to eat those Eruptions, even if it's specs, we're going to eat them pretty well, especially given the fact that we have AV. So we lead the Sneasel Terrakion. We can kind of adjust based on what he leads. So if we see the Murkrow, if it's Focus Sash, it gets a second turn. Okay, cool. But if it's Covert Cloak, we kill it with the Rock Slide. If it's any other Eviolite, it's going to die with a +4 Rock Slide, things like that. The late game Tailwind might suck a bit, so if the Tailwind goes up and we do have a good first turn, it might, depending on how the Regidrago goes, the positions, it might go well, but it's looking pretty good on paper. We'll have to see how it goes in the game, but so yeah, if we see the Typhlosion Murkrow, which we are kind of half expecting as a major lead, I can also see the Murkrow having Sunny Day as well, because you have to respect the Politoed Kingdra, so I imagine the Prankster Sunny Day, which was definitely one of the reasons why I'm not bringing the Kingdra this week, because it's going to be kind of hard to position, especially against the Regidrago, so, and we don't want to have to rely on our Terra, we want it to be a tool in our tool pouch. Alright, so, where was I? So yeah, the Typhlosion lead. We have to watch out for an offensive Terra, but if we hit it neutrally, then we should be okay, and with the AV, I think we're going to take it pretty well. So even if the Tailwind goes off, like, you need the Tailwind or a Scarf. Like, yeah, like, I'm trying to think. I guess you could be, like, Specs Typhlosion, and then you Tailwind. You probably need the Covert Cloak or Terra Ghost. I would imagine Covert Cloak, so you can not get faked out, because that's something you have to respect. I don't plan on faking that thing out. We just want to go for the beat up anyway. There's no redirection on his side of the field, so he can't really stop it other than faking me out, which we are inner focus, so who cares? And we're Focus Sash, so if you want to hit us, so you need to double us up. You're not doubling us up unless you have Sceptile or you have, I guess you could fake out for 1 HP of damage, or you could Bullet Punch with the Hariyama, any sort of priority. Or even Sucker Punch for that matter. I see that a little bit as well. So there is a double up into the Sneasel possibility, but that means you're also ignoring a Terrakion. So I guess beware, in a sense, if you want to do that. We'll have to adjust in that situation. But we also have Terra Ghost, so if we are going to get hit twice, you know, we're not sharing weaknesses with our original type. But yeah, so our goal is to get as high attack as possible, and then if Sneasel's sticking around, we have Triple Axle. We've got Knockoff, which is just crazy stab damage. Stab is 50% boost, so a Knockoff from this Sneasel does more than a lot of high-powered threats with Knockoff, even though it only has 95 attacks, so that's just going to hit really hard. And not to mention, by the way, just a little commercial breaker side note, in Draft League, gathering information game 1 is so valuable. So one of the things that Typhlosion is going to find out when it hits the field is my Pokemon's 2 items. because of Frisk. So that is going to be very valuable for him. And also Wigglytuff gets Frisk as well. So I'm going to be giving up a lot of information, but that's kind of what we're going for. Here's my best. How do you deal with it kind of thing. So, but that's enough about that lead. So we're obviously leaning on that mode. That's the game plan. So how can he beat that? So obviously Trick Room, Oranguru being one of the better Trick Room setters in the game, with Inner Focus and being so bulky. So you just throw a Mental Herb on it, a Defensive Terra, and now it's just not, it's not dying. It's not getting taunted, and it's not getting faked out. So we just, I can see Trick Room being an option as well. So what are the Trick Room options for him? So we've got the Regidrago. It's a kind of a middle speed tier. So I've run an Iron Ball one before. And I always say it's not even so much how slow Pokemon is it slower than what's on the field. So, like some people say, oh, it has to be like 45 or base 30 or whatever it is for it to be a Trick Room sweeper, but that's not true. It just has to be slower than what's on the field. So, Regidrago could be a Trick Room sweeper or even an offensive sweeper. That's why it's really good on this team. I thought it was a really good pick by my opponent in draft. But yeah, the Oranguru going off, and then you have the Rhyperior. So our game plan for that... and then you have the Wigglytuff, which is kind of slow as well, but if I don't give it competitive boost, it's not doing any damage. Like, it's, what is it, 85 special attack. It's got competitive, I don't have any stat lowering. I guess Muddy Water, if I accidentally lower its accuracy, that would suck for me, but whatever. So we do have the Lurantis in the back row. So Lurantis with Iron Ball will underspeed that Rhyperior. So if for some reason the Trick Room does go off, or because we have beat up Justified, so if you lead, I guess you could lead the fake out user like Hariyama and Oranguru. I guess you could fake out Trick Room, and that would be really rough. But if I go for example, Sneasel and then Terrakion as a lead, I could always just hard switch in my Lurantis, and then I go for a fake out or whatever it might be, or knockoff to get information. At least Trick Room's up, and my Lurantis is now the slowest thing on the field, and now it can just start kind of hitting pretty hard. It snowballs with superpower, and Contrary giving me the +1 attack and +1 defense every time I use this stupid move right here. Very strong stuff. So it's just, we will react. So we are going to play our game plan, and if we are pushed up against the wall, we do have options. So I guess we can go into some of those options as well. So there's the Trick Room option. Lurantis is not the end-all be-all of countering his Trick Room, because we are grass and we do hit it super effectively, but if it terras, then now we're kind of running into issues. But I feel like we can stall out the Trick Room, and if we can get like Sneasel, Terrakion as a lead, Lurantis in the back, we start pivoting Lurantis in, Trick Room goes up, and then we can kind of stall out the turns, maybe. And then once Trick Room is over, now we have our position again. So Trick Room teams kind of have to be won in 5 turns. Or 4 turns, I forget. But when Trick Room goes up, you kind of, the whole idea is to just sweep. And if you don't sweep, sometimes it doesn't work out for you, as most Trick Room players would say. So if we can stall out this Trick Room, and we have the Terrakion still in the back, Terra's already been given up. We already knocked off some HP with Lurantis, you know. And we just don't let him set it up again, obviously. Yeah, I think we'll be okay stalling out the Trick Room. But yeah, so what are some other things we have just in case it doesn't go well? Because I always tell people not to zero in on one mode. Because in Draft League, there are so many items, so many moves, so many abilities that they could run that you're just like, what? Or one item could just be it. Like, I literally ran Maranga Berry Gothitelle to get Trick Room up against Chi-Yu Fluttermane. It survived what is it? A Heat Wave Dazzling Gleam Onslaught. I think it was like, and obviously with Chi-Yu, that just does stupid amounts of damage. So the Maranga Berry gave me the +1 special defense to survive. Trick Room goes up, and I was laughing. So yeah, so all that to say, there are items to get the job done. So don't just assume that your plan will work, as I'm assuming that this isn't going to be foolproof. It's just, it's going to be tough to stop. So we're going to go for that. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention this about the Terrakion Sneasel. If, for example, the Murkrow and the Regidrago come out with the Dragon Energy, which is basically an eruption for Dragon-type moves, we have the Terra Fairy on Terrakion. So, and aside from Terra and Terra Blast or whatever it might be, we're not getting hit by Regidrago at all, especially with the AV. I guess there could be a physical one, which I have seen physical Drago. I don't have Intimidate on the team, so it's not out of the question to run physical Regidrago, but good luck surviving a +4 Terrakion. But yeah, so I guess what was I getting at? I guess other modes. So we do have the Politoed here as well. I do think Politoed is just a good Pokemon in general. When it comes to just Muddy Water in the rain from itself is really nice. And not to mention, if we get kind of surprised a little bit by the sun or whatever it is, and it's just doing lots of damage, then we could always change it, worst case scenario. And unfortunately, he has to click Sunny Day again. And that's just making the Murkrow, you know, not do anything, which is really annoying. So there is that as well. And we also have the Moltres as well. The Moltres just being a big pain, and if we can't stop Trick Room from going up in game 1, and it works so well, we get swept or whatever it might be, we do have Moltres with Roar. One of the things that a lot of Trick Room setters can't stop is a Roar. Roar goes before Trick Room. It is negative priority. I think it's -5, but Trick Room is -7, I believe. It could be 6 or 7. I forget what it is. But we have the Covert Cloak, so if we get faked out, we are okay. So if you want to go with the fake out Trick Room, we have the Moltres in a game 2 as an option, and then we just roar it out, and the partner can just do a lot of damage, and Moltres, not to mention with Brave Bird, really hits that Hariyama hard. So it's like, okay, if you want to go for fake out Trick Room, we do have a Brave Bird that deletes every Hariyama on the earth. And because I did draft Moltres, for example, for the Hurricane and the Rain, I think Moltres is really good on Rain and Sun teams, because it works in both. We're not running the Hurricane because A, there's no item that boosts your defense. When it comes to like an Assault Vest, it boosts your special defense, so you can survive a Hurricane. There's no defensive item, at least I can see, he can activate, other than like coaching, or that's not an item, but it's a move. But it's harder to raise your defense than it is your special defense. There's no Intimidate on their team, so Brave Bird is just going to have some fun. This 148 attack does kill all the Hariyamas on the planet. So this is just going to be a straight up KO. I don't think you're going Terra Steel to survive it against a Moltres. I don't think that's smart. But we'll have to see how it goes. So yeah, we do have options, and the Gardevoir there, by the way, is just for massive amounts of damage. Another fairy type to get around the dragon energies. Its special defense is so high, it's probably going to take some hits from the special attackers on the team. And Gardevoir is just a good mon in general. With Trace, we might be able to kind of grab some abilities that could be really cool, like Solid Rock could be really cool. Getting Frisk actually might be really nice, because then we can just counter Frisk and get some items on his team. Could be kind of neat. Prankster won't come into an effect. Dragon's Maw won't come into an effect. Ice Body could be interesting. Not Ice Body, what's it called? Thick Fat could be interesting if we can get it. So Trace is very annoying in some cases. Inner Focus would be amazing if we can get Inner Focus off of the Oranguru. And not to mention, there's so many abilities on this team, and it's not just one. Like Hariyama could run Sheer Force, he could run Guts. You have Competitive or Frisk, which we're going to find out anyway. Solid Rock, Lightning Rod, things like that. There are a bunch of different abilities can be run on different Pokemon. So by tracing it, we get information. So again, this team isn't designed to gather information, but it just helps in the long run. So the longer this game goes, the better chance of success we have. So I guess that's, I don't know, rather than bore you guys to death, I could tell you what these numbers mean, but I did them a while ago, so I'm not really sure what they mean. I'm sure I trust my old self. We do have some Tailwind here as well. I didn't even notice that, so we have our speed control. So if Tailwind does go up, we can match it. We do have some Pokemon that are on the higher end of the speed spectrum in this matchup on both sides. So if Tailwind goes up for them, we could always match it. Worst case. So if we see like a Murkrow and a Regidrago, we have the option of leading the Moltres pretty safely to roar out the Trick Room setter, or we could just match the Tailwind of a Murkrow. It takes Eruptions really well, obviously being a fire type itself and fairly bulky. And if the Regidrago's led and you got the Tailwind Dragon's Maw or Dragon Energy, then we have the Terra Fairy to survive that as well. So, and we match the Tailwind and then we go off. So it's not, we have some options. So I feel like I built this team with a lot of tender love and care. And I guess, did I forget any moves? Like the beat up, fake out, knock off, triple axle. Oh, the quick attack is just sneaky. If I've seen it run on a few different teams as well. Just being able to just kind of pick things off. And by the way, a +4 attack Terrakion with quick attack doesn't do 1 HP. It does some respectable damage. Like we can get some 2-hit KOs with that, in some cases. But whatever, we'll see. So pick off some sashes. If they get the Tailwind up, so be it. Then we could just start quick attacking things. That could be cool. And then we have the Terra Fairy Terra Blast. Just kind of hits things pretty neutrally across the board. We have the Rock Stab for the Typhlosion. And then Fairy just hits everything else. So I guess best of luck there. What else? We have the knockoff on the Lurantis. Just again for some more information, Superpower Leaf Blade is just pretty standard on Lurantis. There's a lot of... No, there's not a lot of Protect. There's 3. Politoed, Ice Beam. Why do we have Ice Beam? Well, yeah, look at all the weaknesses. Holy cow. So Ice Beam is just a good coverage move, and then Water. Yeah, so the only thing that we can't really hit with Water Ice is, where is it? Water. Yeah, I guess the Dugong kind of walls us, but we have Encore if you want to fake us out or fake out the partner or whatever it is. Water Ice, Water Ice, Water Ice. Yeah, so everything except the Dugong we hit neutrally or super effectively with Muddy Water and Ice Beam. Citrus Berry keeps us around a bit. Terra Steel just for survivability. Encore is really sneaky. If we can read a fake out, or for example, if we if they want to set up or something like that, like I know Focus Energy is a thing on the Regidrago. There's a couple of fake out. There's and not to mention we can catch somebody on a Protect and we just Encore them into, because we are not exactly slow. So if somebody gets a Protect, we're faster. We have Tailwind up or whatever it is. We can Encore them into Protect or Tailwind or whatever it might be. Encoring Murkrows is one of my favorite things on the earth. So if we find out that thing's not Mental Herb, then we can Encore it pretty safely. So yeah, in the Moltres, we got Brave Bird Roar. Oh, Flame Charge is just for... I don't want to get walled by Steel. So if we get... If they tear a Steel for whatever reason, I at least want to have my Stab. And not to mention, Flame Charge is another way of boosting my own speed. So I think a Flame Charge gets me to outspeed the Sceptile the next turn. So... yeah, so we'll have to see how it goes. I'm going to respect my opponent to a point. They're going to have everything that stops everything I'm going to bring. But at the same time, play my game plan, play my game, and make him play mine. So I guess that's it for the team preview, and I guess on to the match. Alright, here we are. I wanted to wait until we had a challenge good to go, so I guess that does mean we are good to go. So let me just send this challenge, and hope you guys enjoyed the team preview. And I think this is right, 4v4 doubles draft. There's the team, allow spectators, best of 3, Terra type. Cool. All right. I forgot it was actually open Terra for a second. Void Kenobi can't hurt you, says. Alright. Alright, so we have both spread. Good luck, have fun. I'm gonna post link. So let's see, live links at Totodile. There we go. Alright, let's see what's gonna happen here. Oh, maybe we should go to the match. Okay. Alright, so we said we were going to go for Sneasel Terrakion. If he goes... Oh, just have fun. Just have fun. Sad face. Alright, so we said the... Oh, there's no Trick Room on this team. Okay, so... if that's the case... Oh, and no Hariyama, so we have no Fake Out, so... We're okay here. Do we go... I didn't even think of this. The Wigglytuff... I don't... Okay, so I think Lurantis just stays home here. Like, why even bring it now? I think we bring the Politoed because it can take hits. And the Moltres. Because the Tailwind would be kind of, I don't know, maybe the Gardevoir? I didn't play for this. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't even know. I guess Politoed's in the back, and I guess we could just go for Brave Bird. It just does a lot of damage. Or we can go Gardevoir? I don't know. Special. This team is like mostly special attackers. Let's go Gardevoir. Alright, so let's see. So no Hariyama, Hyperior, or Ngulu. Okay, so we did plan for this. I think we just have to go for it, right? Beat up. And then the Rock Slide. We don't need to Terra Fairy because we can get around the Eruption. Yeah, let's just do it. If this is a Will-O-Wisp, I guess it's... I'm trying to think what he's gonna do here, because he has no rock resists on these with these 6. So we just Rock Slide all day, I think. Yeah, and we eat an Eruption on both. Well, but one of the Sneasel has the Focus Sash, and the Terrakion has the AV, and it's resisted. So if it's Sunny Day, like it could be Sunny Day and Solar Beam, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to watch this turn. I really am. If we miss Rock Slides, we are in a lot of trouble. That's the one problem with running Rock Slide spam is you could miss. If the Sneasel can make it out of this turn, that thing is gonna be annoying. I think the worst thing from here would be a Tailwind something, because then I have to worry about the back row and Tailwind. Saving our Terra is kind of nice too. If he sets a Tailwind, okay, so there's a Protect. Tailwind there, okay, so we got the Beat Up. We're about to find out if this is Sash. Unless it misses. So that's a free Beat Up. That's kind of cool, actually. And we still have our Sash on the Sneasel, so... Sash? Nope, okay, cool. So, here's the thing. Yeah, if he gets the Regidrago on the field, I'm going to have a hard time choosing a Terra here. I love my doubles utility Johto chip. Oh, 6 users. Wow. This is kind of cool. People are watching. Let's zoom in because... Yeah. Okay, so we are +4 Terrakion. So we can always beat up again, but I don't think we need to. So our Sneasel... What are we going to do with our Sneasel the next turn? We've got Knockoff. Knockoff looks pretty damn good. So there's no Sun, so this, and it's not Specs on this Typhlosion. So this thing is not going to do a lot of damage. So I think we might just keep Rock Sliding, and then maybe Sneasel can go for like... I don't really know. Yeah, Regidrago makes sense. So now we have to Terra Fairy. So let's Terra Fairy Terra Blast into the Drago. It could Terra Steel, I guess. We could anticipate the Terra Steel because I'm pretty sure we pick up with a Sacred Sword, actually. Oh yeah, Sacred Sword picks up the Regidrago. So yeah, let's just do that. So let's just, I guess we can knock off the Typhlosion, and we'll Terra and... Yeah, let's knock off this, and then we'll Terra Fairy Sacred Sword this. Because Terra Steel just makes sense here. Yeah, Sneasel's not getting a turn here if this is double spread. The cool thing is we can match our Tailwind, and it will have a later Tailwind than him. Terra Fairy, Protect, okay. Shadow Ball, okay, makes sense. And then we got the knockoff for the KO. Cool. This Sneasel keeping it Sash for this long is actually really nice. So Sceptile. So we just triple Axle that Sceptile, I'm pretty sure. So if this thing is not Terra Steel, Gardevoir just kills it. So should we get some items here? Because we just found out that that thing has Spooky Plate. I just realized that. And Kevs, thank you for showing up. This is good. Okay, so Gardevoir just kind of beats the Regidrago unless there's like a Terra Blast coming that I'm unaware of. So let's just triple Axle this because it's probably Sash. And I guess we... Yeah, there's no way he Terra Steals here. So I guess we could just go for... Let's go for Sacred Sword again. Terra Fire. Grass Pledge. Terra Blast. Oh, we barely live. Okay. Ooh, 4-0. Let's go. Yo, AV Terrakion. Let's go. Okay, so how does he adjust to that? So let's wait to get in until we figure out what we want to do so we don't spend time over there. The Tailwind was helpful. Spooky Plate, that's interesting. So let's just go over there now. What is the adjustment? Probably Fake Out. So Dugong, so... Yeah, the Moltres doesn't really have a super use here either because he didn't even Terra there, actually, I don't think. Did he? 1, 2, 3... Oh, Terra Fire. Okay, so Terra Fire Drago against my Rock Slides fam. I think we just do it again. Why not? And they didn't even see the back row. Yeah, you too. So we didn't miss any Rock Slides, so that actually might be a little beneficial to us. Do we play this differently, though, is the question. Okay, so there's a Sceptile. We didn't see the item on it, so if this is... So it's Grass Pledge, so I don't think it's the Mirror Herb version. We are slower than the Sceptile, so yeah, this is Fake Out. So let's, I guess we could Fake Out the Dugong, and then we can go for a... I don't really know what to do here. We could Fake Out the Sceptile. Do you... No, then that just washes the turn, so there's no point of that. Let's Triple Axle this, and then we can Terra Fairy so we don't get... Yeah, and then let's, I guess we just go for a Rock Slide. There's no speed control. I guess an Icy Wind, but... Yeah. I guess Icy Wind would suck a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. Grass Pledge, okay, we know we took that. 1, come on, hit all 3. 2, and 3, cool. Good turn for us. So we can beat up again. If Murkrow comes on the field, this thing gets complicated. But this Dugong is dead weight right now. Like, I guess Sheer Cold stuff, but I kind of don't want to get Sheer Colded. Because I remember the one in VGC was just really annoying. So Fake Out and Thick Fat and whatever. And it was a little bit of a pain. So I'm actually kind of glad I didn't fake that out. Because Covert Cloak is probably the best item on Dugong. Okay, so what is my opponent got on the back row? It's got to be... The only offense is Drago and Hisui Typhlosion, right? So if the Murkrow doesn't come on the... Oh, yeah, so this is just beat up Rock Slide. Terra. What would the Terra be? I think we kill even regardless. If we're +4. Yeah, I don't think we overthink this. Beat up. And then we just go for Rock Slide. 1... I just like we gotta hit this Dugong because if we get an Icy Wind here, we're in a bit of trouble. Don't be Sash. Cool. I think that's a win. Oh, never mind. The Typhlosion's gonna just kind of go off here with an Eruption, but we do have the Sash though. It hasn't Terra'd yet. Let's. I keep saying I think the Typhlosion was Sash, wasn't it? No, it was the Spooky Plate. I think the Politoed here is probably a good switch in, so we could always just like... No, we don't save the Terrakion, right? Yeah, we just knock off, sack it. I guess we can go for a quick attack. Yeah, because this is just Tailwind Eruption, right? Like all day. Yeah, let's just chunk some stuff. Ooh, wait a second. He has to Terra here, right? Yeah. Okay. Tailwind Eruption. Okay, we take that. Knockoff kills we found out last game. Oh, we even took it. No way. That's crazy. All right, and I don't want to be that guy, but we have to be that guy. We have to save the... Yeah, we got to save the KD ratio. I don't know how the tiebreakers work, but we got to save it. Poison, Haze. Oh, okay. Alright, well, we're going to keep the 4-0. Okay, so we're just going to Ice Beam. Oh, wait, no, we Muddy Water, switch into Gardevoir. Oh, look at that. Okay. This game is not over. This game is not over yet. This guy just wanted to show all of his text. That's so funny. Are there no moves on here? It's just Encore, and then... I don't even know what to do right now. I don't even... This is so weird. No, this is so weird. Just die. Alright, so he's encored into Snarl. We resist it. Alright, I think that's it. That's actually so funny. And then... has to Snarl, I guess? I don't know. Murkrow does a little bit of trolling. What does the most amount of damage here? I guess Sacred Sword does. Actually, Rock Slide probably would have. I'll take the +1 though. Oh my goodness. This is so stupid. Oh my goodness, this is so bad. I just want it to die. Sacred Sword again. I guess no, we just Rock Slide. Wait, how much does Snarl do? 5? We should survive. Let's go Ice Beam and Rock Slide. Oh, thank God. No, that was awesome. I was just like, this thing had like literally everything I did not want to face. No, GG's to my opponent. Yeah, no Psychic move on the Gardevoir. I was just afraid of Terra Steel. Alright, let's just hit the upload replay. Yeah, so it's... I guess that's kind of how it works out when you come up with a game plan. And yes, it was kind of obvious, but... I don't know, like, as in the team kind of breakdown I did, it kind of... We had a game plan, we stuck to it. I was kind of thrown off that there was no Trick Room. That would have thrown a little bit of a wrench into things. But, no, so that worked out really well. It's always nice when a plan comes into play, so I guess there's not really a whole lot to talk about that. I didn't get to show some of the text like Roar, so people don't really know that that's well, I guess if they watch this video they will, but the Gardevoir didn't really get an attack off. The Politoed was just annoying, the Encore okay, but no, the team worked exactly as planned, so I guess that's it for me, and 1-0 with a 2-0 victory, and we got a 4-0, 3-0, so cool. Glad it worked out. So, alright, peace everybody. I can't end videos. Bye.